Hey guys, Sneaky Snake here, Brothers in Arms, World of Warships, and today's video, oh boy, do I have a doozy for you. This is Fog Cruiser Prince Eugen playing in the Tier 7 Japanese battleship, the Nagato. He's playing by himself, and he is playing some domination here on the map New Dawn. So, I gotta tell you, we have been getting quite a nice uptick in replay submissions, but this is by far the most heartbreaking one that I've seen, not just in the past couple weeks with our nice little influx. I appreciate you guys sending us stuff, but honestly of all time, and this is certainly going to be one epic replay. Regardless of that, if you'd like to send us one, please send it to lowercase BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Please, of course, include the replay file, after game screenshots, a brief description of the battle, and then if you'd like Spider or myself to do the commentary, please mention that as well. So, what do you need to know about the Nagato here in World of Warships? It's a ship that has been featured on our channel a couple times, but nonetheless, this is something that I enjoy doing. It's a Tier 7 battleship that comes equipped with 16-inch guns, and is the first on the normal, the non-premium Japanese battleship tech tree that has access to 16-inch guns. Of course, at Tier 6, the Mitsuki, the sister ship to this vessel, has 16-inch guns, but of course, that is a premium ship. It has a rather slow reload. However, these guns hit very, very hard and do a massive amount of damage, of course. You only have 8 of them in an AB, YZ turret arrangement with 2 guns apiece. But, of course, being Japanese, they're very accurate, especially at medium to long ranges, and that is where the ship certainly excels at. The ship also comes equipped with an okay AA arrangement. It's certainly not going to be shooting down planes as good as a New Mexico or a Colorado, but with a full AA build, you can get the rating to a decent level, and it's not going to protect you from an all-out assault, but the AA is okay. The armor on the ship also is, I guess, okay at best. You do have 65,000 hit points for a reason. There is a very, very weak part of the armor belt, which is just behind the superstructure, right along the smokestack, above the waterline, where 8-inch cruiser AP can absolutely wreck you, and even get citadels. I've done it in my Admiral Hipper and the Rune, so it's something that you do have to be very careful of, and this ship really does reward players that angle their ships effectively. His first salvo of the game, just a tad short there on that Leander, the Tier 6 British light cruiser, and that is not an indication of how the rest of the game is going to go. That is certainly the case with this replay. The Nagato is also decently fast. Right now he's sailing at a speed of 26 knots fully going forward, so it's pretty good. It's certainly faster than the standard type battleships that you're definitely used to with the Americans, with the New York, the Wyoming, the Tier 6 New Mexico, Arizona, even the Colorado at Tier 7 as well. His next salvo going downrange at the Atlanta, another full broadside, and another miss. It appears that the Atlanta must have bumped into that island on the right side there, and yeah, I guess it threw the shells off. So his first 2 salvos have been 2 complete misses, and his buddy in the Emerald and his friend in the Fubuki are also getting absolutely smashed over there at Objective Bravo. And the enemy team already has captured it, and there goes the Fubuki. Pretty sure that Atlanta probably used his radar right there to be able to light him up. So the enemy team gets the first kill of the game. He's now waiting for this Leander to go full broadside. There's no way he's going to miss this at 8 kilometers away. Full broadside out, and he gets a nice citadel for 15,000 points of damage with 2 other overpens. Very lucky that Leander is to not get deleted there, but nonetheless, he certainly is going to scurry and get the heck out of there. But not before he's able to kill the friendly Emerald. So now his team is down 205 to 401, and right there you saw, I believe it's from one of those Congos, took an 18,000 point damaging salvo, and you saw where those shells landed, right at the superstructure, just a little bit behind it, right in that extremely weak part of the ship. As I mentioned, at least 1 citadel and a very good chunk of damage. However, his next salvo gets a double citadel on the enemy Atlanta, that Tier 7 premium American light cruiser, and he manages to secure his first kill of the game and gets up to about 30,000 damage, so he is certainly getting warmed up here. Now you can also see that his buddy in his Koenig is just off to his port side. However, the enemy Mitsuki Excalibur is making a charge over here, so now he's trying to swing his guns into play. At these tiers, even with a full secondary build, you generally are not able to shoot at destroyers until they get within at least 6 kilometers. However, his rear turrets are ready to go. You can see that the Koenig has already hit him a couple times as well, and there we go. 3 solid overpens for only 3,700 damage, but when you realize that that was about at least a quarter, if not a third of his hit points, then you can see that that was a very good shot. And the Fiji is able to take care of business. So they have brought the scores back a little bit. It's 270 to 348 now. Both sides have lost 2 ships apiece. However, the enemy team still controls Bravo. They are capturing Alpha, that Gneisenau that's over there, and they also have ships that are in the cap at Charlie. So it's not looking very good as he goes into the smoke here. He's looking for a shot. The Miyoko does manage to kill the other Emerald on the enemy team, and now he's looking for a full broadside here on this Leander. We're going to see now if he's going to be able to take care of business. Shells are in on the target. And boom, another double Citadel, 18,000 points of damage with a solid devastating strike. Just cracks 50,000 points of damage. Second ship destroyed in the game for him. And disaster strikes. More torpedoes coming in. It looks like 3 are going to hit because the ship is so long. Oh, only 1 torpedo hits. The other 2 probably touched the bottom of the hull as the torpedoes ran out of steam. He is exceptionally lucky to not get obliterated right there, probably from that enemy Leander, as he gets a full broadside now at the enemy Byron that's at 15.4 kilometers. He's now getting his health back up. He's still sitting in the smoke screen. He really does need to gather some health, but like I mentioned earlier, the accuracy of the Nagato is impeccable as he lands a solid 16k salvo on that enemy tier 6 German battleship. So he's still racking up some good damage here, and now he's looking for another shot here at the other enemy Leander that he must have hit hard earlier. I guess there was 2 of them, but nonetheless, the guns are reloaded, the shots are aimed in, the full broadside is out, and the shells are going downrange. We'll see if he'll be able to snag his 3rd kill of the game following the shells. Oh yeah, another Citadel with a triple overpen for good measure. Takes care of his 3rd ship of the game, and he's at 73,000 points of damage. So Fog Cruiser is responsible for 3 of the 5 enemy ships destroyed so far in the game. But now he has a major problem. A full health Gneisenau is maneuvering into position. And we all know that the Gneisenau at tier 7 is a very dangerous boat for one reason and one reason only. It has access to torpedoes. You get 2 triple launchers on each side of the ship, and it can drastically change the outcome of an engagement. And with only 31,000 hit points worth of health to work with, at this point, he can probably get deleted with just 1 broadside of torpedoes. And you can also see there that the Gneisenau is doing the exact thing that he needs to do. He's getting completely bow on or at a little bit of an angle, and he was able to bounce that entire salvo. This ship has about 350 millimeters of belt armor in some places, and it just allows some incredible amounts of tanking. And that's what German battleships are for. So he's still staying broadside. Now that Gneisenau is getting his secondaries trained on Fog Cruiser here, and he's already starting to take some hits. However, he does something a little peculiar here. He continues to hold his fire. Now that Gneisenau still has the majority of his hit points, and you can see that his superstructure is not saturated whatsoever. So if he was able to get some solid shots in here, that would certainly penetrate the length of the superstructure, just like those Koenig shells did right there. You saw that the superstructure turned a little bit black. So I still don't understand this play right here while he's holding his fire. The Gneisenau's secondaries managed to light him on fire, but there we go, the full broadside out, and you can see there, solid damage, hitting right exactly where I mentioned. Picks up the Confederate, does about 13,000 points of damage. He's up to 86,000 points of damage now, and now he is turning to his port side to try and, I guess, dodge torpedoes that could be incoming. I'm not sure. The Warspite eats 2 of them on the starboard side from the Gneisenau. And you can see here that when a Gneisenau does make one of these YOLO attacks, it can just deal a ridiculous amount of damage. It appears the Warspite might be flooding or something like that. He gets another broadside out, 8,800 damage, and there we go. The Koenig also eats quite a few torpedoes as well. His secondaries are still going in. That Gneisenau is running absolutely amok right now, getting shot at by 3 different dudes, but still managing to do a ridiculous amount of damage. He takes care of the friendly Warspite, and now that that Koenig has inevitably blown his damage control, if that Gneisenau is able to light him on fire with the secondaries or something of that matter, he is also going to die as well. However, Fog Cruiser gets shot out with at least the 2 forward guns, does a decent amount of damage at 6,600. The rear turret's going to do about another 6,000 points of damage, but it appears that that Koenig is on fire right now from the secondaries. So as the Gneisenau is about ready to die right here from the Koenig who lit him on fire with his secondaries, the Koenig is also burning. So that was actually a very solid trade right there. He was able to do a little bit of damage to Fog Cruiser Prince Eugen, was able to take out the Warspite, and now that Koenig is burning down. So a very YOLO play right there, but one that certainly looks like it has secured his team the victory. It's now 150 to 630 as the enemy team is continuing to capture Charlie. They've held on to Alpha and Bravo for almost the entirety of the game, and indeed the Koenig blows up right there from the fire set by the Gneisenau. So a very commendable play right there from that tier 7 brute. And now the game looks completely lost. Fog Cruiser has done a fantastic job up here, except eating that one torpedo in the smoke, quite frankly, and giving the broadside to the Congo that was over there. He really hasn't made too awful many mistakes, per se, and this would certainly be a solid game if it were to end right now, but there's still plenty more that needs to be done. So at this point, he's moving in towards objective Bravo, but again, the scores, they only got 90 points right now, and if one of his teammates dies, that number's going to dip to below 50, so it is not looking good right here. That Bayern continues to burn, however, so he's looking for a long-range shot at 17.7 kilometers, and indeed, the friendly Miyoko goes down, but not before his torpedoes are going in on the way on one of the other enemy ships over there, and it also appears that the fires are going to be able to doom that Bayern before his team loses the game, and you can see some of those torpedoes hitting the Pensacola, and his fire manages to take out the Bayern, so a double strike, devastating double. It's just a flesh wound. A very solid play right there by that Miyoko, breathing a little bit more life into his team as he's now moving into objective Bravo, so maybe it has secured them just enough time to be able to pull this game back. It's 3 versus 4 in this situation. There's 9 minutes and 23 seconds left. But if there's something that you may have noticed by now, well, one of the enemy battleships has not been spotted the entire game. There's the 2 Congos, of course, and there's that enemy cruiser that's off to, the southeast. As the Furuktaka does manage to take out the Wyoming, who I just realized shouldn't even be in this game. A little bit of failed matchmaking right there. But right now he has to deal with 2 Nagatos, 2 Congos. Fog Cruiser does indeed have to. And there's that cruiser that will inevitably be coming over to this position. But there's still that enemy battleship that is unaccounted for. My guess is that he's AFK, but I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to wait and see and find out. So he's getting into a very precarious situation right here, going 2v1 versus 2 very strong Tier 5 Japanese, well, I guess they're battle cruisers, but they can also be classified as battleships. Just the forward guns, however, does 13,000 points of damage, and angled in, he only eats a couple of overpens for 2040. So very good stuff. And then the front turrets there from the Congo, they have 14-inch guns, which are very powerful. However, when the Nagato is angled like this, it does have just enough armor to be able to take care of business. He's now trying to get his rear turrets into play on Xenobun. Shells are flying in on the target, looks very good, manages 5,400 damage, picks up the high caliber, more shells flying in, and he manages to secure a Citadel, secure the kill there, his 4th one of the game. He's up to 147,000 points of damage, and now he is once again getting nice and angled here for the Congo, waiting for that inevitable return shot here. The shells should be reloaded on him in just a couple of seconds. The secondaries are indeed going to town. The range is at only 1.5 kilometers, so he's now completely bound onto that guy. His forward turrets only have 1 second left. He eats most of the damage from the front, not too bad there, and he does 12,000 points of damage. As his AA is even getting into the fight and shooting down some of the spotter or fighter planes that are up there, so very good stuff here. He has 20,000 hit points. The Congo is at 30,000. So at this point, it's now a nice little game of ring around the rosy, and these mid to lower tier battleships, well, they don't turn very good, and this is actually kind of funny to watch. It's like 2 big elephants trying to go at each other. He still has his forward guns ready to go to shoot into the Congo. The guns are reloaded. He's still waiting, it appears, for his back turrets to get, but unfortunately this Congo is about ready to get his full broadside, so he could die. The Congo makes a very nice play and shoots at the stern of the ship, which really hadn't been saturated by damage up to that point. His forward turrets managed to do 7,000 points of damage. However, his friend in the Omaha is actually coming over here to try and levy some support for him. He's now trying to swing his rear turrets into play. He's lit him on fire, and he's 179,000 points of damage done. And excuse me, he didn't light him on fire. I guess his secondaries are just hitting that superstructure area and still managing to deal a little bit of damage. He's now looking for the kill shot right here, and unfortunately, he does not manage to get the kill. 6,000 damage, and then the forward turrets unfortunately hit the island, leaving the Congo on about 10,000 hit points as he's getting his damage control going. The Omaha's first set of torpedoes just barely miss off the stern. So now that Congo is looking for the kill here, and he's waiting to get his guns reloaded, but he has to be very quick and go around this corner. Unfortunately for that Congo, he only manages quite a few overpens on the Omaha. Will he be able to get his starboard side of torpedoes out? Yes, he does, but unfortunately the Congo is about ready to take care of business. He doesn't wait long enough to get his rear turrets into play, and he would have been able to sink that guy a little bit earlier. However, the Omaha's torpedoes are able to finish him off. So now it's 85 to 850. The enemy team is still getting points out of Alpha and Bravo, and at this point, he has to get these kills. That's the only way that they're going to win the game. He's up to 192,000 points of damage. I know I just said that, but holy crap, this is one hell of a carry that Fog Cruiser Prinz Eugen is doing here in this behemoth. And where is that dastardly little cruiser at? I don't recall exactly. He was over in the vicinity of Charlie, and it did appear that he was moving in this direction. Come help the Congos out, but it's taken him his sweet time to get over here. So I don't know. That Furutaka did make a pretty strange play. Again, taking his time to get over here, at the very least caused both of those Congos to assuredly be killed off, which is something that I really don't understand. So we're going to see if he's going to be able to find them. Unfortunately, though, the game only has 4 minutes and 56 seconds left. It's 85 to 919, and there we go. The Furutaka does get spotted at 9.2 kilometers away. He has his forward guns ready to go. He's aiming in now on that Japanese Tier 5 heavy cruiser. Right before he goes behind the islands, the forward guns are out. We'll see if he's going to be able to take care of business, follow the shells in, and his shot was just a little bit short. Now, the Furutaka, though, does have very solid torpedoes, 10 kilometers indeed, so he does have to be very careful here. And, well, the Furutaka actually kind of gives it away. When your board drop torpedoes appears in the chat. However, his plane above is easily able to spot them things. So now as he's capturing Bravo, he's looking here for yet another shot on the Furutaka, He gets the full broadside out. The shells are flying in on the target, and Citadel, there it is. He gets the Kraken unleashed. 202,000 points of damage. 5 enemy vessels sent to Davy Jones's locker. It's 120 to 914 now, and he is going to be able to capture Objective Bravo, but now he has to find that last enemy ship. And it's a New York, and, well, he really does have to find him. He's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. And, well, since he hasn't been spotted the whole game, chances are that he is AFK in the base. So that's exactly where Prinz Eugen is going to go. And you can also see in the chat, one of the enemy players is indeed telling him, as he gets the solo base cap, that he is AFK. So now, well, there he is. The New York, 15.2 kilometers away. He's got to start getting these the damage done on this guy. The enemy team is going to win by points faster than the time is going to run out for the battle. So as it's at 9:41, they're getting 3 points every 5 seconds. So at this point, he has to get into a position where he's able to get his full broadside to bear on that New York. And of course, since the Nagato has a rather slow reload, well, I mean, of course, it's for balance purposes, but since it has a rather slow reload, he's not going to have much time to be able to get this kill, and unless he gets a detonation of some sort, this game is going to be a very, very unfortunate loss for him. So as he's getting ready to go around this corner right here, he's going to start to turn to starboard and get his full broadside to bear. You can see that those 16-inch shells, even against an angled Tier 5 battleship, sometimes do damage, and sometimes right there break against, I would assume, the side of the hull. The enemy team has 962 points right now, so he's probably got about 2 more full salvos left in him, but at this point, he has to shoot the guns as fast as possible to get that DPM theoretically as high as possible here. More shells flying in on the New York. 4,100 damage. Only one of the shells hit. You can see their RNG is not giving him anything right here. More shells flying in. Unfortunately, over penetration. He's at 33,000 hit points still. The enemy team now is at 977. There's 217 left in the game. He is getting into a position, however, where he should be able to Citadel him if he manages to hit just underneath the smokestack. So he's looking for another shot here with the rear cannons. Shells are flying in on the target as the forward guns get reloaded. The shells falling on the waterline. Another 4,158 salvo right here. And as the next salvo flies in, 4,158. You can see in chat he is a little bit in disbelief with no citadels. And unfortunately, this game is going to be one of the most heartbreaking losses I've ever seen. That New York carrying the enemy team for the victory. But regardless, a very good game here by Prinz Eugen in the Nagato. Alrighty guys, taking a look now at the post-battle results. 447,000 credits received and 2,823 total XP. Confederate, high caliber, dreadnought, Kraken, and devastating strike with 220,000 damage done. 69 target hits with the shells and 8 citadels, 5 enemy ships destroyed, 125 secondary hits, and 1 solo base capture. Taking a look at the team score now. Yep. MVP on the losing team. 1,882 base XP. Just a little bit more than double the guy that finished in second on his team with 916 in the Miyoko. And the enemy team, their MVP with 1,604. That Gneisenau that had that nice double kill. Yes, indeed. You can MVP on the losing team. So Fog Cruiser Prince Eugen, I feel for you, buddy. I had a game in my Bismarck with about 2,000 base XP where I was MVP on the losing team, so I know exactly how you feel. And this only happened a couple weeks ago. So regardless of that, thank you very much for sending in this replay. This certainly was a doozy. And with that being said, the Sticky Snake here for Brothers in Arms, World of Warships signing off. Guys and gals, have a great day. And of course, please like, comment, or possibly subscribe to the channel. All of it is very much appreciated. Ciao.